Welcome back to This Old House.
Today we'll show you a new concept in interior paint.
It's called full spectrum color.
Which means what?
We'll show you how we're using decorative veneers to create our cabinet doors. Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
That finish really brings out the figure of that cherry.
And we'll set the new soaking tub with the help of some plaster.
So there's no movement, and also the homeowner, when she steps in, it's a nice solid base.
Coming up next,
Right here on This Old House.
we are down in the last few weeks of our project, and I thought it would be a good time to see our house in the context of its neighborhood. Now, this is Barrington, Rhode Island, that sits on the northern part of Narragansett Bay. And there was a time when that mansion right there, back in 1895, was the only home in the neighborhood. It was surrounded by a big farm that rolled right down to the water. And over the years, well, this neighborhood got filled in mostly with small summer cottages, built for people who wanted to spend a few extra months by the ocean. Well, these summertime residents eventually became full-time residences, but the neighborhood didn't really lose its character. It wasn't overbuilt. It is still a collection of these modest homes. And our house, well, I don't think it's any exception. Now, we did add about 500 square feet to it, but you can see that it still fits within the context of all the other homes in this neighborhood. And you can also see that on the outside, we are pretty much all buttoned up, and that is a good thing because we are expecting some cold and wet New England weather. And Andy, it looks like you guys have been busy, including getting our driveway down.
We have our landscaping contractor, Henry Pereira. He came in to try to beat out the weather and got our driveway all done.
So let's have a look at what you put down there.
We use these concrete pavers, different sizes for a nice simple pattern.
Okay.
And he worked really hard at getting this driveway so that it was a really good surface to lay them in. He put in a gravel that would drain out really nice.
Yeah.
So that when the water penetrated through it, it would actually drain through, wouldn't freeze and wouldn't heave the new driveway. So it'll last a long time for Jeff and Michelle.
But I tell you what, and it is a big improvement over that nasty blacktop that was here.
It sure is. That asphalt was gone.
All right. Well, that's not the only thing you guys have been up to.
Now we have our painters here, we have our plumber coming, and we have our kitchen installers here.
All right. A busy day for you. I'll let you get back to it.
Thanks.
We'll catch up with you later, Andy. All right. Well, while the kitchen is arriving today, the other day, Norm got to go to the shop where it was made, and he got to see a characteristic that makes our kitchen truly unique.
Over the last few seasons of This Old House, it's been a trend to install painted kitchen cabinets like these. Now, this woodworking shop makes plenty of these, but they specialize in naturally finished cabinets like this one. Combination of solid wood and beautiful panels on the doors made out of exotic and unusual veneers. Look at this one. There's actually a seam down the middle. It's been book matched side to side and end to end. It's a beautiful piece. Now, one of the founders of the shop is Paul Jutras. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Norm, how are you?
Great. Now, this is a family business.
It is. My brother Joe and I started this business in 1980.
Right. Now, being that you specialize in veneers, the customers have an unlimited choice, right?
Oh, many, many choices, Norm. We put this board together just to give them a few of the ideas that they could go with. This is bird's eye maple, comes from the United States.
Right.
This is pomeli sapele.
Wow, it almost looks like leather.
It's beautiful, isn't it? This is koa, comes from Hawaii.
Yeah, we used koa on a project we built in Hawaii.
And this is Australian walnut.
Wow. Now, you don't want to stain veneers. That's a sin. These are all clear finishes.
Clear finishes over the wood, and you can see the variations in color and how beautiful they
Right,
are.
you want to appreciate the wood. Now, here you have some that are unfinished.
That's right. So this is how we would be looking at them with the homeowner.
Look at how thin that veneer is.
It's a 1/40 of an inch thick.
Wow. And what do we have here?
This is mortar sawn figured macrame, and you can see the unusual figure here in this piece of material. This is what the koa looks like, Norm, without a finish on it.
Now, our homeowners have selected cherry, and there's a lot of different looks to cherry.
There certainly are. And this is plain sliced cherry right here. You can see how this looks. You've seen plenty of that, right? Every once in a while, we get a very unique specimen like this.
Right, so this is also cherry, and these are both the same type of cherry, curly cherry, but look at this one is so much different from this one.
That's correct. This one has a little bit more curl to it, it's a little bit darker in color, and this is the one that our homeowner selected.
Right, and of course this is a freak of nature, very unusual, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll never get exactly this again. So what we would do now is I'd take a photograph of this, I'd send it to my supplier, I'd tell them that's what we're looking for, and they would select from their current stock and give me an idea of what they have available.
Okay. All right, look at this. This so they send you all these pieces. They're about 10 feet long, and there's a whole stack of them. There's several pieces here. And what's important is that they're actually sequential. They're the way they grew in the tree.
That's exactly right, Norm. If we slide this over, we'll see. We see the knot here, we see the knot there. So you can tell that comes right out of the same tree.
That's going to make a beautiful panel for a door.
It sure will. My brother Joe's going to show us how that happens. Norm, this is our veneer room.
Hey, Joe.
How are you, Norm?
Good. So you're going to show us how to make up a panel.
Yes, right now, today, we're making up a cherry panel, and we're using this MDF substrate. We're using this because it holds the glue very well and stays very stable for us.
Yeah, I've used quite a bit of this in the past.
Yeah, it works very well. We're using this curly cherry, and what we're going to do, we're going to lay this up to match it up very nicely, and we're going to use this tape.
So you want the joint nice and tight, and
Yeah.
you certainly don't want it to open up once you put the glue on.
Exactly. So this tape being clear, you're able to see what you're doing. Hold it nice and tight, and we're going to run one the whole length of the seam.
And you also want to use a tape that's not going to leave any residue on this veneer. It's so thin.
Exactly. This tape here with a heat gun, you can take it right off without a problem at all. And by using this, you're able to see what you're doing really nice.
Nice, that looks great.
So now what we're going to do, we're going to put our glue on. We've got it mixed up here.
Okay. Now, anything special about this glue?
This glue is a Unibond catalyst glue. It works very well because depending on how thick you put it on, it'll dry any thickness.
So it's going to be uniform. You don't want it to be uneven, otherwise there'll be bumps in the veneer.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we normally mix up this glue about 1 ounce per square foot to give you an idea how much glue you're going to mix up, because it's pretty expensive. You don't want to be wasting it.
That's for sure.
All right, now we're going to put this veneer on our substrate.
Okay, so you only have to apply a glue to one side of the joint, just
That's
onto
correct.
the MDF. Okay.
And we're going to flip it over, and we're going to apply another coat on the back side. And we're going to put this plain slice veneer on this back side. All right, we'll do the same thing to this back side. No. And one more should do it. All right, now what we want to do, we'll bring this panel over.
This is the secret weapon.
This is it. This is how it gets done.
The vacuum bag, yes.
Vacuum right to the table.
All right, so you've got another board underneath here, and you've got a material to separate.
Right, we're using this lightweight painter's plastic just to keep the glue from coming in contact with our bag, and it doesn't stick at all to that plastic.
Right, and then another piece on top of it. So
Right.
you've made a sandwich out of it.
That's correct, and this is going to be squeezed right down into our vacuum bag.
I got to say, this is the largest vacuum bag I have ever seen.
This is a 5x12.
All right, it's in the oven, so to speak. And now you got to seal it up. And I've sealed it with tape. I don't think I've seen anything quite like this. So
This is pretty quick. We're able to put this on, and
so you have a rod in there, and a piece snaps over the outside of it, and that's going to seal it right up. All right.
now I'll turn the pump on.
And this bag uses atmospheric pressure on the whole of parts together, and it evenly distributes a clamping pressure over the entire piece, about 1,200 pounds per square foot.
Right, so by simply taking the air out of this bag, you get all that pressure.
Absolutely, and you can see it getting pulled down right now.
How long does it sit in the bag?
About 6 hours, Norm.
Okay.
When it's done and cut the size, it looks like this.
Now that vacuum bag does a great job. You can barely see the laminations. So now we can make a door.
Right. I'm going to glue these together.
All right, solid cherry rails and stiles.
Put a little glue on here.
Just regular carpenter's glue. And a cope and stick joint and a nice groove to receive the panel. Looks good.
And we want to make sure we don't get any glue on the panel, Norm, because we want that panel to be able to float in the,
Right.
in the groove.
I'll apply glue to both sides here. And now we'll put her in the clamp.
All right. Okay, now you got to clamp it up. It's a great clamping system. The door is perfectly square. Nice job. Well, it's going to be nice to see a natural wood kitchen going into our project. Thanks, Paul.
Inside, our finishes are starting to come together. You can see that we have got all the trim up around windows and doors, and that the wood flooring is now down all across the first floor, which means it's time to install our kitchen. And once again, one of the Jutras brothers is helping us. In this case, Rick, how are you?
Kevin, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. So where did you guys get started in this space?
Basically, we started with this this pantry cabinet, which goes floor to ceiling with a soffit above and a main beam right above that. So a hard dimension, nowhere to go, basically.
Nowhere to go, so you start there, all right.
Yeah. Went from there, we have some storage cabinets. Have a, the oven goes here in this hole.
Okay.
Yep. Lazy Susan,
Yeah.
some uppers. Here we have a nice work surface to work on, some roll-out shelves.
Nice.
Nice
Okay.
big roll-out shelves. And from there, we come right to directly this refrigerator hole.
Right.
And we have two side panels, and the refrigerator is going to slide right in between there.
Great.
This is a little high. We're going to scribe it down to the floor and to the back wall.
Okay, so this panel needs a little bit of work
A
still.
little more work there, yep.
And we obviously have a little bit of work to do here on the island, but it's not hard to imagine what this is going to look like with
Yeah.
a kitchen sink right here, a beautiful countertop, which is going to be what?
Soapstone top. yep.
Soapstone, right? Okay, and then seating for
Couple-
two or three?
seats should be perfect. Yep.
Right, and if you're standing here working at this island, you can really start to take in the fact that we have got ourselves a wide open floor plan down here on the
Should
first
be
floor.
awesome view.
Great. So it looks like you got all the uppers in except for this box here.
Yep, one more to go. We have the wall cleat on the wall. Laser those on so they're perfectly level.
Yeah.
Screwed into the studs. The upper cabinets basically have the same cleat.
Oh, yeah.
Screwed into the top and the sides.
This was installed in the factory.
Yep. At the shop. Yep.
You guys are ready to go.
Yep. Phil's gonna give me a hand here. We'll put that on the cleat. Hopefully. Slide it on in.
Well, hey, that's not too bad at all, right? And so now it's fastening one cabinet to the other,
Yep.
and then the cabinet to the wall.
All right, Kev, you want to hand me the door? We'll
Yep,
pop
there you
it right
go.
on.
So most of the upper cabinets are solid cherry, but in this case, these two have got a single glass light.
Yep. And they have European hinges with a soft close.
Snap right in. All right, there's the second one. I like that soft close feature.
Yeah. Especially with the glass door.
Yeah. And so we're going with a full overlay look here, where we don't see any of the upper box or frame, and that's a pretty sharp look.
Yep. Okay, Kevin, we're here at the refrigerator hole, and this right panel is too high. We've already scribed the left one. Get the level up there, as you can see. We are out approximately, exactly, 5/8 of an inch.
Okay.
Okay?
And you've deliberately left this right panel extra
That's
long,
correct. Yep, at least a half an inch, some jobs more if we know the floor is out. So, okay, Kevin, we're going to take the scribes. We'll set it at 5/8 of an inch, right there.
right? Yeah, that's our measurement.
Going to run right down here, and we put a piece of tape around this panel so we can see our mark. I'm going to go ahead and mark the 5/8 right around the side, the front, and this other side. All right, Kevin, here's our mark. I'm going to take this panel down and cut it.
To you. Okay. Got it right here. How's that?
That looks perfect. Take our track, we'll lay it right on top, right on that mark.
So that didn't go all the way through. We're going to have to flip this.
That's correct.
Okay. Nice clean cut.
Well, we'll just give it a quick shot with the sandpaper. And we'll throw this down, no overspray.
So what are you doing now?
We're just going to seal this, Kevin, so we don't have raw wood, that's all.
okay.
Because we don't have to go crazy, but just...
So just a little urethane in a can? Or?
Yeah, this is lacquer, but
Lacquer,
we could use
all right.
anything. Yeah. Okay, should
Okay.
do us.
And then we can just install this now? Ready?
Go down, we'll turn it. Okay, put that clamp on it.
All right.
Want to put a level on that, Kevin? See what we got.
Let's see how we did. All right. There and there and...
Perfect. We'll screw that off. We'll be done with that.
All right, so that's the last panel in, and oh, look at this. You got all of the door fronts in. So now we've got ourselves a wall of cherry cabinets. You know, that curly cherry, that is such a distinctive look. I think the homeowner's gonna love this.
Thanks, Kevin.
Well, hey, thank you, and thanks to all your brothers. Our master bathroom sits right here in this corner of the house. And as you can see, half of it sits above this first floor of conditioned space. But the other half, right here, well, it is above unconditioned space. And for any room, that's a problem because these floors, they can get really cold. It's a particular problem, though, when you're working with a bathroom because you have to deal with the plumbing. And that's what we're working on upstairs. So here you can start to see the layout of our master bathroom. We have got a standalone shower. The homeowners wanted that, but they wanted to save a few dollars, so we gave them an acrylic insert. Now this will have custom glass doors right here, but the critical issue is that this half of the bathroom is over that conditioned space, which means that our drain right here is fine, no risk of anything freezing there, and our supply lines for hot and cold are within conditioned space as well, so no risk of them freezing. But over here with the tub, well, it's a different story. Our homeowners really wanted a soaking tub with views of the ocean, and why not? So we gave it to them. But that means that the tub sits out here over the unconditioned space. Now, we pulled the supply lines, the hot and the cold, from this shower wall, and they're actually going to sit on the deck here, so they'll be all right. But the drain to this tub, well, that actually is going to have a P-trap, and a P-trap holds water all the time, and that is going to be exposed to that cold weather, so we don't want it to freeze. And so David St. Angelo, our plumber, it's your job to make sure that the water doesn't freeze. How are you going to handle that?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to install the tub. When we install the tub, we'll install the P-trap here. We'll put the P-trap in and then spray foam it 4 inches below and keep the air up, the air that's open here, the heat, will keep the top of this warm.
So lots of insulation beneath the P-trap and really none above it.
Correct.
And that should work.
Correct.
All right, so when we get the lines set for supply and then the waste line set as well, we can start focusing on the things in this bathroom that we're going to end up seeing. And one of them is this beautiful tub deck, and you've actually already installed the faucets here?
Correct. What we did was we got our hot, we got our cold, we got our spout. And we have a personal shower here with a diverter back below.
Right, and you've got all these in now, I guess, because it's a lot easier to work before the tub gets set in here, right?
It's a lot easier to work inside here, yes.
All right, and then the other thing we've got is this piece of stone for the tub deck, and this is actually a piece of Brazilian granite. It's called Venetian gold, and it came to us the other day. It's one big slab, almost 6 feet by 3.5 feet. They hauled it up here, and they actually left some cross bracing here in the middle. Once they had it on the deck, they cut those away, and they left us with this big, beautiful opening where we can set the tub, which is what we've actually got to do this afternoon. And so what are we using for a tub here? It looks like cast iron, but it's obviously
actually
not.
acrylic.
All right.
What we're going to do is give me a hand, we'll lift this up and put it over here so we can install our drain.
So we've got a drain that needs to go in here.
Yep.
Overflow here and drain down here.
Correct, yep. And if you can give me a hand, we'll put this in.
Be happy to. That is the process.
What we do is we got some pipe dope here. This is our shoe. We're going to put a little pipe dope on the shoe.
So this is the chrome piece that sits inside the tub. You've already got your putty on it.
Yep, just screw it in.
All right. There we go. Put this piece in. Tell me when you think it's tight enough. How's that?
A little more.
A little more. Let me get the pliers.
That's good.
All right.
All right. What we have here is our overflow drain. And the reason why we're using this long overflow is because the tub is so deep. This is called a room and tub drain.
Okay. It's a little longer than normal.
Correct. The standard one's 12 inches.
Now, what are you connecting it to here?
This is actually an offset shoe. What's going to happen here is because we're right on line with a floor joist, we're going to offset this throw up to 5 inches you can go.
Okay. So I guess I got to put this in now.
Yeah, why don't you put that overflow drain piece in?
So just put this guy in.
Yeah, push it.
Okay. And I got a couple screws here. Look at that. Double.
Perfect. Kevin, I'm putting a little pipe dope on here. You don't have to do this, but for lubrication reasons, it works fine. Just gonna tighten everything up and we should be good to go. All right, Kevin, we just mixed up the 3 buckets of plaster we're gonna put underneath the tub.
Now, why are we setting our tub in plaster?
Well, we're setting it so there's no movement, and also the homeowner, when she steps in or he steps in, it's a nice solid base.
Okay. Now, is this the same plaster that we've put up on the walls?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What we did was we mixed it with water, and it's got about 20 minutes for this thing to set.
Okay, here's your shim. Scoop that out. I'll hold the bucket for you. Gotta get this underneath the faucet. All right, I'm under. Hang on. Get my hand out of there. All right, it's flush here.
All right, let's just measure the front, make sure we're square. And then it's 2.5 there. It's 2 3/8. Tap it a little bit. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, so all I gotta do is let this dry for half an hour, the plaster, and then I'll trap it, come put a bead of silicone around it, and we're good to go.
Great. All right. Nice job, David. Thank you. Our painting contractor is making good progress as well. In the kids' bedroom, they are using an airless sprayer to apply all of the primer, as well as the finish coat to the ceiling, and the finish coat to the trim around the windows and doors. And in this case, that's an off-white color. But here in the master bedroom, we are starting to put down some real color, and that's being done for us by Al Gerard. And Al, I'm told you guys are working with a new kind of paint.
Yeah, it's a new concept in paint. It's called full spectrum color.
Which means what?
Basically, that the deeper colors, they take the black tints out of.
So most paint have black tints in them?
Well, the deeper colors do, yes.
All right, so what does it mean not to have black tints?
Well, the black tends to absorb light, and when you take the black out of the equation, you get more reflective capabilities.
All right, so what do you got here?
So basically, the manufacturer was actually local to Rhode Island, put this together for us. It's basically the background color is the color that we're looking for, and he basically took the base and added the tints one by one.
And so as you add these different colors, the blue here, then the reds, then the oranges and the greens, you end up getting to where you want to be.
Ultimately, you end up where you want to be, yeah.
But you get there without using any black.
No black.
All right, well, so you've had a chance to put it up on the wall. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, I haven't found any issue with it. It's got plenty of body. It covers well, and it does everything it's supposed to do.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you get back to what you're supposed
Great.
to do. So I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Wow, Andy, things are getting done in every room of this house, including the paint right here in the guest room.
We're getting there.
And what about the tile?
Well, I'm sorting out the tile, trying to figure out which bathroom it goes in, and next time we're going to lace them down.
All right. Well, until then, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
And I'm Andy
For
Tiplady.
this old house here in Barrington, Rhode Island. So what are you thinking here on the spectrum? 4 or half?
I think that's half spec.
Yeah, I can tell. Coming up next time on This Old House.
In Barrington, Rhode Island.
Today we'll install a retractable awning that can sense the wind.
So if there are wind gusts comes by, that will damage it, and we'll retract it back in.
That's a nice feature to have. We'll see how blacksmiths are making our light fixtures one by one.
In this area, we have 10 people. Typically, on a good day, we'll put out 1,000 products.
Wow.
And we'll show you a new way to seal soapstone countertops.
That's next time, right here on This Old House.